They ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. And
nothing sense.
Oh no, we beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But that's all I've seen. But anyways, welcome to Not a Strong Start, a movie podcast, not sports podcast. That's our spinoff. It's a movie podcast by three filmmakers that let us talk movies, television, play some games, and anything else that we feel like doing. I am Daniel de Sangre.
I'm Jose Ramos.
And I'm Chuck.
You know, these awkward pauses doesn't help. We need filler here, man. Our audience at home that's gonna be listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and be like, I think I'm having connection issues.
We got an editor. That's what we got. That's what we hire our editor for, dude.
Oh, we hired him, did we? Well, let me just drink some of this serious gourmet shit from my cup right now. That took 6 weeks to get, and it looks like Steve Carell with a long wig. 6 weeks it took to get this, dude. Look at this. It took 6 weeks to get this. What the hell? What? My brother was so excited to get this for me, and it looks like shit.
They were hard at work. They were hard at work on that.
I guess so, man. It took them so long to put the sticker on this cup. It took a while, man. I blame COVID for everything. Anyways, we have the current events by Chuck. No, it's not.
Bullshit. That's not me.
Don't scare him. Don't scare him. It's me on this one.
We do. See ya.
Yes, it is. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
And we have a current event by Mr. Team Stark, which he has on the bottom of the screen. Mr. Team Stark, and this is mi nombre. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it fit. So the current one I have actually is fitting, since we are talking a Disney property now, is the Parents TV Council is mad at Disney for adding Daredevil to Disney Plus, and they're throwing a fuss right now over properties like Daredevil joining and corrupting their minds of their kids on Disney Plus. Even though in places like Canada, they have Deadpool, full-on Deadpool on Disney Plus, but here, Daredevil's too much.
And what's ironic about that is that Canadians are known for being like the nicest people ever. So if they're given Deadpool and they can't trust us with Daredevil, which is actually an inspirational story to all the blind people out there, that you can go out there and you can still kick ass. Okay, don't let somebody tell you otherwise. Yeah, you want to be a crime fighter, you still can. Okay, Daredevil does it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the latest, and another sign that tells me that things like Blade, the new Deadpool, things like that, good luck with us seeing a rated R version of it.
Damn, man.
That sucks.
Yeah, I really hope they don't, man. I hope Disney fights it, because, I mean, is it, if they fight it, like, do they usually win? Do you know? This parent.
I don't know. I don't think Disney, I don't know personally of any incidents where Disney has dealt with this, especially with their streaming service being new. Yeah. At least to this point, this is probably the first time they're introducing something to that magnitude.
Yeah, I heard that they were gonna have some sort of like channel, like a lock or something like that, that certain shows would only be accessed, or did I dream that?
I think you.
I mean, I know people have recommended just put parental controls on it, but don't limit the content.
Yeah, that's what I hope they do. But they can also go the route that they really wanted of like an HBO Max. You know, they do like HBO Max. They can have like a Disney Plus and a Disney Minus. I mean, something like that, where it's like it's more like the adult version of it. Maybe it's like an extra $3.99 add-on or something. But if you just do
they own a large portion of Hulu. Just use Hulu for all your higher rated content.
They can, man. But I think they're also trying to monopolize and take the sales and everything that Netflix is doing, right? If you're kind of spread out a little more, you're kind of watering down your product a little bit. They maybe want to have everything under one umbrella and say, see, we're king shit. That's my theory on it. But anyways, this week's episode is the future of MCU. Hopefully we get some R-rated to come with that, but this is the future of Marvel. Go ahead, Jose. What does MCU stand
Marvel
for? What is it represent?
Universe.
Yes.
Exactly. So please explain it.
Well, exactly what Chuck said. It stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I mean, like right now, we've begun everything we had seen, was considered phase 1, 2, and 3, and then now that the whole Thanos storyline has been concluded, technically we've begun phase 4. So phase 4 so far has, and you guys can correct me if I miss any, but it's Shang-Chi has been part of it, the Eternals movie, Spider-Man, and then they've done 4 TV shows on it, which was WandaVision, Loki, uh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and I believe that's what they've done so far. That's been the
What
beginnings
if?
of phase 4. The what if, but I don't know if the what if fits in the overall because it is a what if. It might just
Uh,
be its own separate thing. But we know the other ones for sure fit into the cinematic universe.
is Black Widow part of it too, or is that it is right?
Because that's a prequel. So
Hmm.
technically, that takes place before the end of the first 3 phases. That's why I didn't mention that one.
Okay.
Alright.
And Chuck, do you want to explain what if is to our audience that doesn't know?
What If was an animated series that was kind of like what if this happened, what if that happened, how it would change the whole complexity, the whole timeline really of certain characters or the whole MCU really. So like for one of them, like Star Lord, like it was like what if this happened and T'Challa became Star Lord. So there was a whole episode on him being Star Lord. And then there was an episode of what if this zombie virus came out and so all these heroes, villains became zombies, and that was a whole episode. And yeah, they were cool, some of them weren't, to be honest. But they had a Doctor Strange one that was pretty cool. And that's when I'm kind of like a little unsure about that because it's like Sinister Strange or Evil Strange or whatever, but he's actually in the new movie, the Multiverse of Madness. So I don't know that if it fits in the timeline of Phase 4, but it definitely gives some clues and hints onto what could be coming into Phase 4 for the MCU. So yeah.
No, I agree. Now that you brought up the evil Doctor Strange, I do remember seeing him in the trailer.
Uh,
So maybe there is a connection in general. But yeah, the what ifs are basically, referring back to one of our past episodes, a reimagining of the stories and events with something a little different.
yeah. And then, with Black Widow, they introduced her sister, Yelena. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Yelena?
Yeah.
And she was a part of Hawkeye, which is part of Phase 4. So I don't know. I know it was a prequel, but it could be part of Phase 4. I'm not really sure. So just a thought.
I think they're bringing her back for phase 4, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think she's gonna
Which
be a
she
part of
was
phase.
Well, she was
in
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 Hawkeye.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hawkeye. There we go.
Hawkeye, yeah.
Okay.
So
What are you guys' thoughts so far on what we've gotten from Phase 4?
I really like Shang-Chi, man. I saw that on a flight again, and I was able to watch it all the way through, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the fighting was really cool. I like Aquafina. She's kind of grown on me a little bit. I thought she did pretty good in it. Hey, have you seen Nora from Queens, her TV show? That's
no.
pretty good.
No.
Yeah. That one I like on it. I don't love her in everything. I don't think like everything she touches is gold, but I really like her in that show. So if you haven't, it's the same thing like, what we said with Robert Pattinson, right? People think, oh, automatically Twilight. At least watch their best thing first before you judge it. So I would say watch Nora from Queens first before
She's
you
the
judge her.
Jar Jar Binks of the MCU for me,
Oh,
dude.
so you love her. So you love her then. Because
No.
you've been team
Oh,
Jar Jar since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I hate Jar Jar Binks, okay? I just like to troll you guys. But she's awful, dude. I couldn't even enjoy that movie because of her. Like seriously, like I thought the fighting was awesome. I thought there were some cool things, but God, if I did not hate her character so much. Like she was just very annoying and couldn't get past it. I really couldn't. Like I was like, ugh, every time she came on, I was like, I'm checking out. So
You're chucking out.
I'm checking out.
I,
So
I I did find it funny at the end of the movie. Um, I always forget his name. The other sorcerer.
Wong.
Well, yeah, when he shows up at the restaurant and like he's like, I need both of you. It's like, okay, I get Shang-Chi, but it's like, she
I was
just learned
so upset.
archery
Makes
in like a
no
day, and then it's like, yes, we need you. Like I started laughing in the theater when he said he needed
yeah.
both of them. I'm like, why? You do
It,
I was
not need
like,
both
please
of them.
no.
it made no sense for me, man. The actor that played Shang-Chi, like I liked him, but I didn't love him all the way. I didn't think he was
Yeah.
necessarily charismatic enough for me to, without her, or at least without some kind of comedic relief, I don't know if he would have been able to just carry the movie on
Mm.
his own. I feel like he needed some kind of balance. So maybe that's why they brought her along. Maybe the producers felt the exact same way. We need a sidekick that's a little more bubbly and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, they should have just kept the dad. He was the best character. So
The dad was really cool. I really like the dad, man. But even
yeah.
fighting that big old dragon thing and everything, the action was so badass. It really impressed me. You know, honestly, I was really surprised by that movie. I'd recommend it.
No, I enjoyed it. The action sequences in that movie, like the sequence outside of the building and stuff, like that was badass when they're fighting outside of the building on the skyscraper. So that is one of the strengths of that movie was the fighting of it. Especially when we got the crappy ass fighting in Iron Fist, it was good to see this type of fighting happen.
I didn't even watch that. I didn't even
I,
bother.
I didn't either, man. I saw the first episode, I think, or two, and it was bad. I really didn't watch a lot of the Marvel TV stuff on Netflix. I didn't watch a ton of them. You know, the Defenders, that stuff didn't look good.
It
It
was
didn't look
okay.
good.
Daredevil was really good. Season 2 was a little slow, but season 3 nailed it. I think so. Season 3 was awesome of Daredevil. So, but Jessica
That
Jones, I checked out season 2. I don't even think I finished Punisher season 2 either.
Yeah. See,
So
Punisher was good.
yeah,
Daredevil was good. Jessica Jones, the first season was good because of the villain.
yeah,
The Purple Man, he stole the show in the
yeah,
first one. And then once he was gone, for me, the show just wasn't that
yeah,
good anymore. And then just Iron Fist was the weak link of everything. And he even brought the Defenders down, just like seeing him on screen. This character is supposed to be one of the best fighters in the MCU, and everyone is fighting better than him
yeah.
in the show.
When you say purple man, was the man actually purple? Or was he just wearing purple clothes?
That was just his name.
So it wasn't
Man,
like Prince.
Daniel,
It
No,
wasn't like
fine.
Prince at all.
Wasn't
no.
like Grimace. Wasn't like Grimace from McDonald's. Or
That's what I'm
Barney.
saying, man. I mean, I hear purple man, and my very first thing is to think, was that racist? Like, are we just calling that because he has purple skin? Like, that seems inappropriate, Disney. But okay, so Mr. Purple, he could have belonged in Reservoir
Yeah.
Dogs, right? I'm assuming.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Okay.
Given the same powers. But I
Yeah.
think in general, kind of getting back on subject, out of what we've seen with the Phase 4 so far, at least for me personally, I've enjoyed the movies. I loved Spider-Man. I liked the Eternals. It wasn't perfect, but I liked the Eternals and I liked Shang-Chi. But I feel they have shown through their TV shows. Like WandaVision was really good. And the thing is, each TV show was different. I
Yeah.
loved WandaVision. Loki was amazing. Um, for what it was, I enjoyed the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And again, they were each like a different genre. And then Hawkeye was kind of like your Christmas like buddy cop comedy. Like
Yeah.
that was the genre for that one. So they each have brought something different. And I hope they continue to do these because certain characters do work better on a TV show format where you get to really build the character over the movie format, which supposedly the rumor was they were going to use TV shows to build less popular characters and also increase the depth of certain characters. So then when they throw them into the movies, people are already have an affinity for those characters already.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. And because you don't have to dedicate a lot of screen time, right, to building up these characters. And if you had a lot of sort of throwaway side characters, they can get lost in the shuffle. So it's pretty smart that they did that. WandaVision, I loved WandaVision, especially the first 4 or 5 episodes, man. I thought the first 4 or 5 episodes before they really pulled the veil off and kind of showed us what the show was, I thought it was genius. I thought it was one of the best TV shows of like a drama. As the show kind of went on, that first series, I thought it kind of lost a little bit of its luster. Loki was really good. Loki was badass. Falcon and the Winter Soldier I thought was really good as well. I feel like it suffered slightly just because the other two were so creatively different, and it was something that felt so fresh to us. That one, it was still a good show, but it kind of felt like I've seen a little bit of this with Captain America, but a TV version of it, if that makes sense. How about you, Chuck? How'd you feel?
To be honest, pretty underwhelming. When I think about the first phase of Marvel, where they had Iron Man and Captain America, and they had all these really, really good movies. Like Eternals, I liked it, but you know,
I
like
didn't like it.
yeah, like it was okay, Shang-Chi Aquafina, no, didn't, had some good stuff, but I didn't love it. It was okay. Black Widow is, I think I was waiting for it to be finished if we put that into phase 4.
Mhm.
WandaVision was awesome until it just slowed down for me at the end a little bit, and then it just had so much potential with like the multiverse, and they didn't do any of that, where they played that big prank on the audience with Boner, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, Boner.
Quicksilver.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Quicksilver. Like,
the whole fake out. Yeah.
The whole fake out just ruined the whole series for me. To be honest, it did. I was just like, what? Like,
So to explain it for our audience, they had the actor that was that played Quicksilver in the Fox version of X-Men that showed up and was stating that he was Quicksilver, her brother. So it made a lot of us believe they're merging. We're seeing the Fox version. So those X-Men movies did exist, just for them to fake us out and say, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, but just to fake it out and say that it was just an actor playing playing her brother.
And his last name was Boner. So it was all that for a boner joke.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed again. I'm actually annoyed again now.
You always laugh at boner jokes every time I make them. Every time.
I do, but not when it's hinting at a multiverse. And then it's not like, and then Loki, for me, it was okay. The end was really great. But I don't know. It kind of dragged for me a little bit. I know you guys loved it. Falcon and Winter Soldier was a typical kind of action buddy, which I liked. I actually did like that one. I think that's my favorite one. I think because maybe it's just what I wanted. I just wanted to see the Falcon and the Winter Soldier like kick some ass, and that's what it did, and that's what I wanted. So. And then
when
the last one? Okay.
When you guys finally saw Falcon come out and he was Captain America, right? His version looking. How'd you guys feel about that?
Terrible. He looked like a marshmallow or something. I'm not really sure. They need to work. I mean, I think it was comic book accurate, but it just, to me, it didn't play well on screen. He looked fake, cartoonish. It's too much white. I don't know. Like, I didn't like his suit at all. I hope they modify it for Captain America 4. So,
how about you, Jose? How'd you feel?
I felt whelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was just whelmed.
You were just whelmed.
It was. It was like, okay, it's a good moment. I didn't have any strong feelings either way. It fit the story. The big speech he gives at the end, it's kind of like, I don't know, it not really realistic. When someone gives like a speech like that in the most like awkward situation when all this shit is going on, it always pulls me out of a movie or a TV show. It was like, no one's going to be giving a speech at that point in time, until that point, uninterrupted, with everyone fully listening to every word that you're saying. It's not going to happen in that scenario. So that kind of pulled me out of the scene.
Yeah. So you could say you were the Goldilocks of this one, where it wasn't, you weren't overwhelmed, you weren't underwhelmed, you were just whelmed. You were right there in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah. I kind of felt the same way as you guys did. The white, it was too bright and all that. I'm not even a huge fan of him necessarily taking over as Captain America. I know that was part of the storyline and I get it. So like I can sort of put my personal feelings behind it and I can still get behind it if it's well written and everything, but he was way too brightly colored. And we know that if you're sitting here fighting, you don't want to be sticking out where it's easy for enemies to shoot you. Like there's a whole tactical disadvantage to doing that. The same way I felt as you, Jose, with the big long speech. It felt very written in that particular moment, where like it didn't seem like it came off the cuff. It didn't seem
Like
realistic.
little
It seemed like
contrived,
here,
yeah.
yeah, here he had it, written. I really liked the beginning though of that show, where the chemistry between him and Bucky. You know what I mean? That was really cool. Yeah, I kind of like the whole back and forth and everything that they had when they were seeing his what was it? It wasn't a CO. Who was it? A lawyer? I forgot already. It's been a
A
while.
psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, right? That's
Yeah,
right.
therapist. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think Bucky
exactly.
should be Captain America. By the way, I don't.
Seemed
I know
like
what's in the.
it.
I
Didn't
mean,
he in the comics?
they've both been Captain America in the
Hmm.
comics, so they could have got, which is I think why one of the big reasons they paired them off, and then they had that whole like hinting at Bucky wanting the shield and kind of a little bit of jealousy type aspects because they both have held the shield in the comic books. Honestly, I don't. Captain America is not never been one of my favorite characters. So honestly, I
Mm.
don't care who the hell has the shield. I prefer that he stays Winter Soldier and Falcon stays Falcon and
Yeah,
just let them
same.
be
That would
them.
be better.
Like, why do they have to take the mantle? Again, like you said, I know it's following what happened in the comics, but I would be just as fine if like the shield went away with Steve Rogers. And then if they decided to bring Steve Rogers back like they did in the comics, he can be Captain American again. Like, why does one of them have to take the mantle?
I feel the same way you do, because it felt again like what we talked about, the whole reimagining and everything, the whole remake. But if you're giving one of them the shield, I really liked Chris Evans as Captain America. So now I'm automatically comparing the two. Especially if it's Falcon, they're not, both actors are not as charismatic as Chris Evans was. So I just didn't. I would go along with what you're saying, Jose. Just keep the characters as they are, so that way my expectations is Falcon, Winter Soldier is Winter Soldier. That's
Yeah.
the way I would have done it. Regarding the first three phases that led to Thanos, right? So they took three long phases, which was, do any of you guys
Like
have the
10
notes on?
years.
It's
It's
been
over
10
like 10
years,
years.
right?
Yeah.
Years,
10
I
That
whole
think.
was over
years.
that was over 10 years for that.
Absolutely. Because I think the first one started in 2010, right? And then Infinity War came out in 2020. So how do you guys feel Infinity War and Endgame did in terms of the whole culmination of everything they were building for the first three phases, the first decade? How did you guys feel it ended it?
Honestly, unprecedented. In fact, the fact that they were able to put this together, I would have never imagined that something like this can be put together so well, so detailed over such a large stretch of time and so many movies without fucking it up.
Yeah.
Like, just if you really think of the logistics of it, how like difficult that's got to be. Many have tried. I mean, we saw it didn't take long for DC to fail trying to do the exact same thing. And Warner Brothers, like that, I think even they won't be able to repeat what they did
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
this, which I think is hopefully, and it seems like they're trying to do a little bit different with Phase 4. There's rumors they don't plan on doing a 10-year like super arc with all these things going forward because again, unprecedented, amazing. Don't know if it's repeatable.
Yeah. I totally agree. How do you feel, Chuck?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved every bit of it, even the ones that weren't good. Thor 2, Iron Man 3. But yeah, like it was awesome. And like you said, Jose, like them repeating it, I don't think they can because I already feel a little underwhelmed with Phase 4, to be honest. I mean, if it wasn't for like Spider-Man, I would be extremely underwhelmed, so but we'll see. I mean, I hope they do. I love the Marvel movies. I hope DC comes through too. But I love these movies, so I hope they do.
Yeah,
Question for both of you, Dan.
okay.
Sorry, before you answer that question for both of you. If you eliminate the entire first three phrases, if this was the beginning, this Phase 4 was the beginning of Marvel creating their universe, do you think you would feel different about what they put out so far? Or are you subconsciously comparing it to basically the masterpiece that they created over the 10 years prior?
I personally would feel very different about it. I'm actually giving them more confidence that they're going to stick the landing the more they go on. I kind of feel like the way you do, Chuck. I personally didn't watch Black Widow yet because it just doesn't look that good. And
Yeah.
in the clips that I've seen, the feedback I've heard, friends' feedback, it just doesn't sound like something I need to rush to. I'll eventually watch it. Shang-Chi surprised me, but when the first Iron Man came out, especially as we started getting, even Thor 1 was really good.
Yeah.
We were getting really, really good product. This phase 4, we're getting some duds. I'm
Yeah.
actually feeling a little more confident in DC's direction lately, to be completely honest with you, just because I'm almost a little nervous that Marvel might have peaked already. And I'm sure they're going to still put out good content. I don't know if they're going to be able to match what they did already, but
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Like I know that I'm comparing the new phase to the initial phase 1 of Marvel back in the day. And it was just it was a little groundbreaking. They were doing a lot of things that we hadn't seen before, and like now it's just like I really haven't been blown away. Like every movie that I feel like back then I was like, whoa, that was dope. Whoa, that was dope. Haven't done that yet, other than Spider-Man, which was technically, already part of previous phases. So what new have they done? Eternals? It's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Eternals I didn't care for. I thought it was pretty boring. I kept looking at my watch to hurry up and wrap up. It just felt
Yeah.
very just similar. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like we've kind of seen this, but it wasn't even the characters, the actors, other than what's his name, Camille. He was charismatic and funny in
Yeah.
it, but the rest of the characters were just pretty bland to me, man. I didn't really connect with them. I don't care about the sequel.
Are they doing a sequel?
I think that's what they set it up for. I'm
Yeah.
sure they
Okay.
are because Marvel hasn't done anything yet where they've just straight up got shut down from continuing their work, right? Like if they want to do sequels, they tend to do it. Because they've been so successful. Their track record has been very successful. Eternals, I think it still did pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. I think it did pretty well financially. So I don't see why they won't. It's just I don't know.
I mean, I'm interested in Black Knight. So
Black
Black
Knight,
Knight? You mean Moon Knight?
Moon Knight.
Black Knight?
Moon Knight?
Moon Knight?
Who's Black Knight?
Black Knight?
Yeah.
Who's Black Knight? The Dark Knight? Are you talking about Batman again? There's
You
Moon
said that.
Knight. There's Moon Knight.
Black
The
Knight.
guy in white, right?
No, dude, Jon Snow. He's Black Knight.
Oh,
Oh, the
okay.
character. Okay,
Thank you.
gotcha. Me and Jose immediately went to Moon Knight because I'm like, that's the movie that's coming
No,
out.
Black
There's
Knight.
Yeah.
there's no
She's
standalone Black
Jon
Knight
Snow.
movie. Yeah,
Well,
I guess,
it's-
but
Yeah. It tells you how much of an impact he made in that movie.
that's what I'm saying. I think I like Jon Snow more than I like Black Knight.
Well, I think that's why I like it too, because it's Jon Snow and he gets to wield the sword again. So
Yeah.
That's it.
From
That's
now
all you
on,
wanted.
Moon Knight is the only MCU knight we will speak of.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. So who do you guys think now that Thanos is gone? Who do you think the big bad could be, should be? I mean, who's going to come close, even remotely close to who Thanos was?
You want to start off, Chuck?
It looks like Kang the Conqueror, but I hear that Doctor Doom could be coming. I would prefer that. I don't really know who Kang the Conqueror is, to be honest. I haven't read enough comics to really know who he is. Do you know Jose Kang the Conqueror?
Very, very vaguely. It's not a character that I really followed.
Yeah.
And what I do know about it is usually just a little bit that I researched after when Loki was coming out and that actor got casted. And I've liked that actor in other things. So I was like, all right, let me see a little bit about this character. But yeah, not enough on there.
Yeah. So
I'd be pretty excited to see Galactus too, man. He'd be badass. And we know that since Marvel acquired Fox Studios, they own the rights now to Fantastic Four. So, which Galactus is the mega big bad guy. Doctor Doom, I would love for them to bring in. I think they are, but I don't think Doctor Doom is on the same level as a Thanos. So
Hmm.
knowing what they normally do for sequels, right? Like they had, the original 89 Batman. What do they do in Batman Returns? You give us two bad guys. They might do something like that. So you can't quite match Thanos. You can give us Galactus, you can give us Doctor Doom, and they
Mhm.
both fit within the Fantastic Four backstory. So you can easily have that.
Yeah, part of me doesn't fully agree with that. I think, first of all, I don't think they're going to do another overall big bad like Thanos did like over 10 years. But if they were going to, I feel Doctor Doom can kind of fit that. He's been part of some really good storylines in the comics, and he's the type of villain. I know we had discussed, and we can probably discuss within this podcast, the rumors that MCU is going to touch different aspects. You have like the cosmic, supernatural, all that stuff. Doctor Doom is the type of character that can be involved in all of those aspects. So, like Galactus, you're not really going to see him much on street level, and all of that stuff. But I feel like Doctor Doom can hit all of those levels and kind of bring everyone together if they were going to go that route. But I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to go that route.
I agree with you, which is why I think it may be a combination of the two. They may have Doctor Doom in, sort of like the way they did Loki, where he's been around, he's developing this master plan, and then he may utilize Galactus as part of his master plan or something at the end. So I don't think it's going to be a complete buildup like the way they did Thanos, but they're going to have a culmination of all these characters lead to something massive like they did Infinity War. I'm assuming. But we'll see, man. How about you, Chuck? You had any ideas about that?
No, just Doctor Doom. That was my guy. I'm hoping because like Jose was saying, like he's pretty badass. I don't think he's been represented well in the past on cinema, not at all, to be honest. And so I don't think a lot of people know, like the casual, you know, readers or just people who watch movies, they don't know that Doctor Doom's fucking brings some shit.
Okay, so for
Yeah.
for the ones that don't, give us a tiny little synopsis. Why? Like, why does he bring the shit? Why is he such a badass, Chuck?
Because he can touch on like every level as well, not just like his powers, but like you'll see him on the streets, you'll see him in space, you'll see him everywhere, and he just gives no fucks, dude. You know what I mean? Like he's not like a Killmonger where he's like, hey, yeah, like my people here, like I'm trying, like Doctor Doom's just like, I'm just trying to see the world burn, so
Let's just say he's done everything from battling on the streets with the Fantastic Four to at one point he basically became a god. He gave himself the
yeah.
powers of a god. So it's like he's been throughout the spectrum, and he's had moments where in the comics he is the big bad for like
Yeah.
everyone, not just the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Okay.
he destroyed like Thanos too in a story arc too. Thanos went up to him. Did he have the gauntlet too? He might have. I don't know. And
Yeah.
he just destroyed him in like a second,
Yeah, I
so
think at one point, I don't remember the exact details, but I think he like somehow changed the timeline where he was like ruler
yeah.
in a way. He like ruled
That's
everything
cool.
and changed everything. um so yeah, he's got the ability, if done right, because like Chuck said, what you guys have seen in the movies,
That's not Doctor Doom.
that's not the Doom. That it's not even, doesn't scratch the surface of his potential. So if done the right way, with which we haven't seen in MCU Doctor Doom,
Mhm.
they should be able to do him the right way. Um, I think that can work.
Okay. We're gonna briefly touch on the four different aspects, which is the cosmic, the supernatural, the street, and the multiverse. Right? We've kind of started seeing at first when the MCU started, we know it was very street related, and now it's become a lot more supernatural. They've integrated cosmic and just now started touching multiverse. Really quickly, what are you guys most interested or excited to see coming phase 4 that you want to see of those?
I'll go. I definitely the supernatural. Like we got Moon Knight coming, we got Blade, Werewolf by Night. Like I'm in for all that, because it does touch for me a little bit on like the horror aspect too. Um, and that's what I'm about, dude. So I'm looking forward to that on the bell. So.
Okay. How about you, Jose?
I mean, looking forward to all of them, but if I had to pick one, probably be the street level, just because I like when stories are contained where it isn't the fate of the entire world or universe in the balance. Like I feel you can get great stories in small pockets in there.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why I would choose the street level.
Okay. And it's also not a surprise because you're a huge Batman fan, right? So you like the street level stuff. Chuck, you're a horror fan. For me, big surprise, I love Cosmic because I'm a Star Wars fan. So, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was by far one of my favorite Marvel movies that they did. I thought James Gunn just crushed it in the soundtrack and everything with it. Such excellent casting, but the cosmic has always been interesting to me because I love the whole element of science fiction. I love science fiction. So going out into the stars, I don't feel like we're just stuck on Earth. In my opinion, we've seen a lot of that already with the original Avengers. I want to go more out into the space. I want to see the Galactus. I want to see Silver Surfer. I want to see Fantastic Four as they go out and they get their origin story. Like I want to see these things. I think it's pretty cool. So that's what I'm excited for. So now we have a game, the location game that Jose has for us. Chuck versus Daniel.
This is Chuck's chance of redemption. Will he get the victory, or
No.
will he get slaughtered by Dan again and be forced to watch more Gilmore Girls? I don't know. Let's find out.
Episode 3 and 4, let's go.
All right. So this is very simple. This is a location game. I am going to give you each a location. So we'll start with you, Chuck. I'm going to give you a location. You try to guess what this location is within the MCU. The importance behind it. If you don't get it right, Dan has a chance to steal it.
Okay.
You get a point for each one correct. Most points at the end. Simple?
No, I have a lot of anxiety, but go ahead.
Okay. All right, Chuck, we'll start with you. Nowhere.
It's a celestial that died, and then that's where the Benicio del Toro is, and he keeps everything there, and it was from Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
You are correct, Chuck. Whoa, starting off strong. There we go. Xandar.
I know it's in Guardians. Is Xandar, is that where the what are they called? The space fleet or whatever, the space force?
I'll give it to you. It's the with the Nova Corps, the Nova Empire.
John C. Reilly and all them and all that. Yep.
Sokovia.
That's where Ultron was. And they lifted it up and dropped it down and destroyed everything, and
that is correct. Okay. Also the home of the Maximoffs.
Yeah.
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Doctor Strange, where he goes and trains.
I can't give you that because the training area is different from. This is their base of operation. Sakaar.
What? I don't know, dude. Black Panther. What is this shit?
Dan, because I did not give Chuck the chance to steal on the last one, I won't give you the chance to steal on this one. But it's the home of the Grand Master. That's where Thor went, and the Hulk was there. During the last.
That's
Thor
where Jeff
movie.
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, the Grand Master.
Okay, got it.
I would have gotten that right, technically.
I would have gotten yours right too.
So let's swap then. We're tied.
Madripoor.
Damn. Oh, was that in Avengers where Black Widow and all them, and they were what was it? What Avengers was it? I think it was part 2. No, I don't remember which one it was, but it was where they blew up the building and all that. WandaVision and all that. She accidentally killed the people.
Chuck, chance to steal.
We're not doing too good here, Chuck. We're not doing too good here, man.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Where they go and they
you
meet.
Can't just state where it's from.
No, they go to meet a person there where they're trying to.
That's the most vague shit I've ever heard.
Am I close?
They meet a person? No.
I would give it to you. You got the show, and it was for a meeting that they went to. That is the long. It's the lawless city where the power broker works out of. They
Yeah,
went
the
to
power
go meet
broker.
someone
Yeah.
else.
I would not have given him a point for that because they meet a lot of people in a lot of different places.
No,
You
but
gotta
it was the
sit there.
show, and they went to go meet. They had the meeting. They went
Hey.
with the Baron.
Titan.
That's where freaking Thanos lived,
I
right?
know.
Hala or Hala. Hala.
Is that the astral plane where Black Panther people die?
It's the capital planet of the Kree. All right, well, Chuck, what is Dan's punishment for losing 4-1?
I hope you guys know that this is not actually going to make the episode. It's going to get edited out.
So Dan will be watching the best, greatest installment of the Star Wars trilogies, and that is Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, with Jar Jar Binks. And we would like you to live tweet that, please. Thank you.
And what's our handle, Chuck?
Yeah. At Not a Strong Start. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. I'm horrible with locations. Even when you mention the location game, I'm like, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of this shit, man. But good luck, Chuck.
Yeah.
All right. So what's on the queue, guys? What do you guys have on the queue?
I'm gonna watch the boys, the Diabolic. I'm gonna check that out. Look at the animated series.
Okay.
So
How about you, Jose?
For me, I'm gonna give a try to the new Halo series that's coming up.
What is it? Animated or is it live action?
It's live action. It's a live action Halo. And for those who are not aware of Halo, huge Xbox game, years ago. Everyone was playing it at the time. It was probably one of the better PvP games, and now they're gonna get a live action show.
Nice.
good. Dan, we know what you're watching, unless you're
Star
watching
Wars
something
Episode
else.
1. I'm glad it's not Clone Wars. Clone Wars is awful too, man. The whole prequel, Return of the Sith, is the only one that's like okay. The other two are awful.
Yeah, they're pretty
They're
bad.
awful. They're
Yeah.
terrible. So that's what I'll be watching. So thank you guys for watching another Not a Strong Start. I am Daniel de Sangre. You could find me on Instagram and Twitter at king_Sangre, SANGRE.
Chuck, you can find me at ChadRarrell12, and that's it.
I am Team Stark, and you can find me at This Is Mi Nombre.
Thank you. You can watch us on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. You can also listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Other than that, you both cheat. Thank you.